Hi guys, I hope you are going to have a great day today. I have recorded our lessons for today and tomorrow, so I'd like you to go and click on each lesson, watch it, and do any of the work I'm having you do while on the video. You can pause it if you need to. But that's how we'll be doing our classes for the next 2 days. So today, you guys had a review of Chapter 10 yesterday, and you did your boom cards last night. So I'd like to go over the boom cards with you for our lesson today, and then your assignment for later on is your math test. All right? So this says what time is shown on the clock above. If you remember correctly, look at the minute hand first, the shorter one. Okay, this clock's not that great. Remember, I told you I wanted your hour or your minute hand to go all the way to the end of the clock, and see how theirs is, and it's harder to tell the difference. But this is the hour hand, and I'd like you to look between the 10 and the 11. That means that this is 10. And then this minute hand, remember, it's actually pointing to this tick mark here. And the big tick marks we count by 5. So I'm starting here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So this time is 10:40. Again, let's see, here is our hour hand. Our hour hand is between the 6 and the 7. So it is 6, and this minute hand is 10. 5, 10. What time is shown on the clock? Let's see, here is our hour hand. Looks like it's pointing at the 9, but I know that it's really not 9 until this minute hand gets up here to the 12. So it's still 8. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 is my minutes. And again, my hour hand is between the 5 and the 6, so it's 5, and it's pointing down to the 6, which is half past, right? So this is 5:30 or half past 5. What time is shown on the clock? My hour hand is between the 4 and the 5. It's not quite 5 yet, so it's 4. And my minute hand, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Whoops, I've got to click over in the minutes. Here, my hour hand is pointing down to the 6. And it is pointing directly up at the 12, and I know when it's pointing at the 12, it is o'clock. My hour hand is pointing almost directly at the 4, and my minute hand is pointing here to that first big tick mark, so this is 4:05 is how we read that, or 5 after 4. The time, the hour is 5. And the minute is o'clock. The hour is between the 11 and the 12, so it's 11. And my minute hand is pointing here to the 7th big tick marks. I count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. The time is shown on the clock. Between 1 and 2 is 1. And here I know that when my minute hand is pointing to this tick mark here, the third one, it's going to be 15. And this is another way to say 1:15. The time is shown on the clock. My hour hand is between the 10 and 11, so it is 10. And again, my minute hand is pointing over here to the tick mark by the 3, So that is 15, and this is 10:15. What time is shown on the clock above? My hour hand is between the 12 and the 1, so it is 12 and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. All right. My hour hand is between the 11 and 12, so it is 11 and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. All right, my hour hand is pointing at the 12, and so is my minute hand. So this is 12 o'clock. My hour hand is between the 10 and the 11. It might look like it's at the 11. It's not quite. So it is going to be 10, and my minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So 50. And again, my hour hand, these are the hardest ones for hour. It looks like it's at the 6, but remember, it doesn't get to that 6 until this minute hand moves over to the 12. So until it gets there, it is still 5. 5. And then this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. And my hour hand is between the 4 and the 5, so it is 4. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And my hour hand is between the 3 and the 4, so it is 3. And the minutes are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. My hour hand is pointing almost at the 9. So it is 9 because my minute hand's over on this side. If it's on that side, then I have to be really careful. Since my minute hand's over here, it's pointing at this first big tick mark, so it is 9:05. Hour hand is between the 2 and the 3, so the hour is 2. And the minute hand is 5, 10, 15, 20. The hour hand is almost directly at the 1, and since it's on this side of the clock, I know that that hour is 1, and then 5, 10 for the minute hand. The hour hand is between the 7 and the 8. It looks like it's pointing at the 8, but it's not quite there yet. Remember, it's not 8 o'clock until this minute hand moves all the way up to the 12, and that hour hand moves up just a little to point directly. So this is 7. Now, we learned this the other day. When it's pointing at the 9, it is 45, or that tick mark behind the 9. But we say this, we don't say 45 minutes past 7. We say, remember we're going to talk about the amount of time that's left for this minute hand to go from here up to here. So that's a quarter of an hour to the next one, which is 8 o'clock. So this is 7:45. Those are the hardest ones, I think. The hour hand is pointing at the 1. And because that minute hand's on this side, we know it just is after 1 o'clock. And the minute hand is pointing here to this first tick mark, so it is 1:05. My hour hand is between the 2 and the 3, so it is 2. My minute hand is pointing here to the tick mark behind the 3, so that is 15, 2:15, or 2:15. Almost done. My hour looks like it's pointing at the 5, but since my minute hand is over here, I have to be really careful because it's getting very close to the next hour. So it's not quite 5 yet until this minute hand gets to the 12. So it is 4:55. And you guys should know this one. This is 1 o'clock. This is between the 8 and the 9, so it's 8. And the minute hand is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 8:25. The hour hand is between the 9 and the 10, so it is 9. And the minute hand is pointing here, the big hand, 5, 10, 15, 20. More. The hour hand is between the 12 and the 1, so it's going to be 12. The minute hand is pointing over here to this tick mark, which is 45. And so this is 12:45 or 1:45. My hour hand is pointing between the 5 and the 6, so this is 5. And my minute hand is pointing to the 40th tick mark, so 45, 40. All right. So I hope you guys do very well on your test. Take your time and make sure you're reading it carefully, because on a lot of the answers there's, for instance, 2, 3 o'clocks. One of them is going to be AM, one of them is going to be PM. You need to read very carefully. Okay?